Welcome back to Luke's Properties YouTube channel. I've just bought another house for £95,000 and in this video I'm going to run through the exact numbers with you. Let's get into it. So the house was up for a price of £100,000. I viewed it last week and I made an offer of £95,000. Because it needs a small amount of work doing to it to bring it up to standard, I thought I'd try my luck and offer £5,000 less than the asking price, because I'm going to have to spend around £5,000 on improving the property. A couple days ago I got my offer accepted, so let's go through the numbers. So my deposit is going to be £23,750, which is 25% of £95,000. My stamp duty is going to be 4% of the purchase price, which is £3,800. My solicitor costs are going to be zero because the seller is financing those, which is a nice touch. I've never experienced this before, but the estate agent phoned me a couple days ago and asked if I would like the seller to pay for my solicitor costs to ensure a quick sale. The seller obviously wants the money, they must be in a rush, and they'd rather me work with their solicitor than me working with my own to ensure a quick completion. I don't mind doing this. This will save me around £1,500 to £2,000 in solicitor costs, so it's a no-brainer for me. My mortgage broker cost will be around £200, and I'm going to spend around £5,000 on refurbishing the property. As I mentioned, a very light refurbishment, mainly cosmetic, very similar to my rent-to-rent refurbs in fact. We're going to paint and decorate the whole house. We're going to change the carpet in one of the bedrooms upstairs. We'll probably add some fixtures and fittings to the bathroom, like some new taps, a shower screen, maybe a new shower. But generally speaking, the house is in good condition. It just needs some TLC, a few new updates and a good clean, and it will be ready to be rented out. So my refurb will be around £5,000, which will bring my total capital invested to £32,750. Then I'm going to rent the house out for £725 per month. My mortgage will be £193 per month on an interest-only mortgage. I'm going to put around £50 a month aside for minor maintenance. I've been a landlord for 5 years now, and I've learned that it's always wise to put a bit of money aside every month for minor maintenance here and there. Sometimes you don't need it, and months, even years go by without you needing to do any maintenance. But then other times, things do break, and it's nice to have a contingency pot of money there to use to fix the issue. So I'm going to put £50 aside every month. My insurance will be £30 a month, which is going to leave me with a net income of £452 per month, or £5,424 per year. Now £5,424 divided by my total capital employed of £32,750 times 100 gives me a 16.5% return on my capital employed. So this is the return I'll be receiving from the rental income every year after all of my costs as a percentage. Now most investors will be happy with a 10% return on capital employed. So to get 16.5% is a brilliant deal. Now house prices are set to rise by 25.2% by 2029 in my investment area. So now let's go through the 2029 numbers. So by 2029, this house will be worth at least £120,000. My equity within this house will be £48,750, which is my deposit plus the amount the house has increased over the next 4 years. The rental income that I would have received over those 4 years will be £21,696, and after tax, that's going to work out to be £17,360. This will be a good stage to refinance the house based on the new value of £120,000. So I'll get a new mortgage based on the new value. My new mortgage of £90,000 will pay off the old mortgage of £67,500, and then that's going to leave me with £22,500 in tax-free money. It's tax-free because it's a loan and you don't pay tax on loans. So this £22,500 is tax-free. I'm then going to put that £22,500 with my post-tax rental income of £17,360, and that's going to give me a total of £39,860. Now rather than go and buy a fancy new car or a nice watch, I'm going to use this money to reinvest and buy another house, which means basically I get this next house for free because this house has paid for this house. So at this point I've got a free house. I'm going to use this money to buy another house and repeat the process. This is how wealthy people leverage debt to grow and scale their net worth. So those are the numbers, guys. I hope that makes sense for you. I've tried to make them as accurate as possible and as easy for you to understand as possible so that you can do the same. I actually own 2 other houses on this exact same street. The first one I bought around 4 years ago for £120,000 and today it's worth £160,000. Last year I refinanced that house and withdrew around £25,000 to £30,000 in tax-free money. Another one that I bought a couple years ago, I bought for £95,000, similar to this one. Very similar condition too. And I've just had that revalued at £115,000. So that's jumped up £20,000 in value in just over 2 years. So I know this street well. I have inside information of how houses get valued on this exact street. So I feel very confident that if I repeat the process and do the same with this house, then it's very likely that within the next 2 to 4 years, I'll be able to get all of my initial capital invested back out of the house from the appreciation and the rental income, and I'll be able to use that money to go and buy another house, maybe on the same street. Who knows? At this point, I could own the whole street in a few years. These are the powers of property, guys. You get capital appreciation when the asset increases in value. You get to benefit from passive income, which is the best way to get paid because you get paid in your sleep, and you get leverage. So you get to refinance your money out. You get to keep the asset. You still get to benefit from the income and the appreciation, and you get to leverage your money out, which you can then use to go and buy another house, which will grow and scale your net worth. I think everyone should be doing this. Everyone should go and get their slice of wealth. If you can just manage to save up around £25,000 to £30,000, whether that takes you 2 to 3 years, or if you do it with someone else, your partner, your spouse, your friend, maybe you could do it in 1 year or 18 months. But if you can just manage to get this money invested in a buy-to-let property, then you can benefit from these same returns too. House prices are set to rise by 25% in my investment area, but if you look on Savills house price forecast, they're also set to rise by 28 to 29% in the northeast of England, in the northwest of England. So there's opportunities all over the UK. If you can just manage to save this amount of money up and get invested in just one buy-to-let property, then in a few years' time, you can use the appreciation and the rental income to buy property number 2. And you can keep doing this over and over again. And over a 5 to 6 year period, you could build a portfolio of 4 to 6 properties. And that could be enough to replace your income and allow you to retire early, which is what we'd all love to do, right? Yes, guys, so I'm going to give you a quick video walkthrough of the property that I've just purchased, just so you can see the condition and understand what £95,000 can get you. Enjoy. Should I turn me off? If you need someone to mentor you and guide you through this process, then I'll put a link in the video description below. Once you click the link, there'll be an opportunity for us to work together, and I'll mentor you through this process and guide you so you don't make any mistakes. If you don't need a mentor, then just copy exactly what I'm doing. Trust me, this works. I've done it over and over again. Just copy me. I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.